Hello again, everyone. Um, Tonight I have my cat with me, Uni, and he's right next to my setup here. So if anything happens, if you see him getting into the screen, don't worry. It's not a ghost. It's a real cat. Um, right. So as I planned since yesterday, today I'll go ahead reading from the book The 7-Point Mind Training, written by Alan Wallace, and I will go ahead with the next two important steps. The one regarding death, the awareness of death and impermanence, and the next one regarding the awareness of karma and its consequences. So, now on death and impermanence. An awareness of death and impermanence enhances the vivid realization of the preciousness of a fully endowed human life in a way that transforms the heart and mind. It is impossible to be lethargic in a very dynamic way. It is possible to be lethargic in a very dynamic way, and this reminds me of something that I was saying in one of the first of my videos, when I was saying, yeah, sometimes you can be depressed, but nevertheless, you don't really sink into a very lifeless state, a state that depletes your a core side of you, a core part of you. And I think they say something similar. So lethargic in relation to dharma, but dynamic regarding samsara. So you are lethargic in relation to dharma, but dynamic regarding samsara. Right, so it's like you can be. I think I think he talks in a different sense when he speaks of being dynamic. I think it's quite opposite or complementary to my perspective. So he says, I think it is like, yeah, you can enjoy life, but actually you don't pay attention to the bigger picture of life. You can be engaged in entertainment, in, I don't know, gambling, traveling, but very kind of superficial type of dynamic. Whereas when it comes to dharma, those soul stuff, you are just lethargic. You don't act upon your probably intuitions, or you do nothing in terms of evolving your inner spiritual aspects. We have plenty of time for entertainment, movies, vacations, sports, and partying. We have plenty of time for work, but we have precious little time for Dharma. Thinking, perhaps when the kids are older, when I retire, when the work eases of a bit, or when winter comes, or summer. We always assume that there will be time later, but in the process we are aging and our vitality is waning. Impermanence means we are changing and approaching death. So, it's never too late has a meaning, but in terms of awareness, if you're not doing it right now, you completely missed the opportunity of the now. uh, to me, this is a huge, one of the biggest misses uh, you can make, you can have. If you miss the now, that's when you seed the seeds of the future, and the future will be seedless of the opportunities you missed in the present. Uh, you will have no fruits in the future that might come to fruition in your benefit if you put no seeds in your now, in your present. And it's obviously not rocket science, not very difficult to understand that. But when you feel good, you might not have the awareness of how it feels, how it might feel to feel bad due to lack of good in your life, which could happen in the future. And now I'm not talking about the bad that is due to uh, the random events that we are exposed to, and sometimes we face adversities, which is not bad, you know. But I'm talking about that type of bad that is due to ignorance, due to lack of awareness. And that type of badness, um, it's in our grasp, and it falls in our uh, agency, it falls in our yard. We are responsible to actually act upon it, and not even correct, but root our existence into something that is more central to our being than anything else, any kind of entertainment, any kind of uh, diversion from it. It's not even secondarily. That doesn't come second. Everything else is, it falls really uh, behind of this core aspect that we should, don't like should, but it's a core aspect that to me feels that I need to develop more and more, and it has something to do with this awareness of death as well, has something to do with the awareness of the preciousness of life. So let's go ahead. Actions and their results. So he talks, Alan Wallace talks now about karma. Each action leaves its imprint upon our consciousness, and sooner or later inevitably manifests its fruit, unless it has somehow been nullified by other actions. Actions need not be physical. With each phrase, each comment, and the most frightening of all, each thought, we are creating our futures for better or worse. And I completely agree with this. And the present that we experience right now is what we have created by the karma of our past actions. give me a moment, please. Having reached the certainty that each of our actions and its results is profoundly significant, not only within this lifetime but beyond, it is important to use this wonderful discovery. So, I do believe that the thoughts are consciousness is comes first. I do believe that matter arises from something that I don't even want to put. I think there is a more fundamental layer to our reality that is characterized by consciousness, and as matter, some matter is correlated to consciousness. I think in the same way, when consciousness manifests, matter can manifest in a very correlative manner, which by which I mean, if I see a house and I think, oh, I want to build a house, both of them are implied there. So I see a house, and so what I'm trying to say is, if an object gives me an idea, also an idea can be the origin of the manifestation of an object. That obviously can be created through my body, through my actions that are carried out by my body. Okay, now I would invite all of you, I'll invite you to join me in my meditation. But also my meditation, I like to put my meditation under the intention of seeding awareness in all those moments when I might be triggered towards extremes that are obviously biases of my boundaries, where awareness is not actually manifesting much. And what I want to say is that whenever an event, a person, a situation might trigger you to think, extreme versions of what kind of consequences that event might have on you, I'd like to anchor to those triggers awareness. So I would like to anchor to those extreme biasing triggers awareness, which is, in my opinion, a moderation of my extremes, which invites to a sort of negotiation plus a solution, how to exist in a moderated state when actually my initial drive was to go into an extreme, because that's how I know to exist when that kind of experience challenges me. So before we start the meditation, I'll let my cat out. Okay. Right. So find a relaxing position and let's go for like 10 minutes into a as deep as possible meditation. Okay, time has flown away really quick. Whew. I don't understand where they went these minutes. It says it passed 17 minutes. Okay, so it felt I did a very meaningful work. I was very active, cognitively speaking. I tried to work on my intention of anchoring awareness to all those biasing triggers. And I was faced with the question of what to do with the initial intention of the energy. So let's say I have an energy, I'm triggered by an adverse event to react in an emotional, let's say, it elicits aggression in me, like a bad thought, or like just don't, I want to say something bad to someone, or to wish something bad to happen to someone. And how do I work with that initial intention? And I discover that initial intention has a sort of an energetic body. I could identify a sort of like a like like a child, like not a baby, but like I could see my shadow in a way, talking back to me and saying, yeah, but I want to react in that way. And what I did, I I I checked to see whether it's good or bad to instead of getting focused instead of focusing on satisfying the initial intention of my shadow of wishing a bad thing to happen to the other person, or even to myself, thinking, oh, I'm so stupid, so I'll never be able to do that, let's say. Instead of letting myself to believe that there is a sort of satisfaction in having that wish fulfilled, or that action manifested, what if I'm just what if I'm after fulfilling something, if fulfillment is more important than what you fulfill? So what if the dynamic is what I'm after, not the content of the dynamic? And it felt right. It felt right. What if instead of fulfilling a bad thought, I transform, I transmute that energy into a good thought, and I see that initial energy of my shadow to be fulfilled and satisfied through by an end, whether it's manifesting a thought, thinking a thought, or manifesting an action. And for example, let's say if I would be triggered by someone that would come to me and would say, would just crack a bad joke about me, would I be triggered? And let's say I'm triggered by that, how would I react from that part of myself that is not completely aware of the bigger picture? I might feel um, um, I might feel a lack of self esteem, or I might feel like, oh, I want to do something bad to this person, or say something bad to this person, or wish something bad to happen to this person. And instead of that, what if I instantly identify the core of my being, not being aggressed in absolutely no way by that joke, having the certainty of my existence not being all at all attacked in absolutely no way by that person. And now comes the transmuting part. And what if, from not from the shadow, but from the awareness of my certain existence, my the awareness of my um, the awareness of my existence, I act from that and not from my shadow, because the shadow was elevated and brought into my core existence. And I see it, that energy is just looking for being in a way used, the energy of the shadow to be used. And here comes the transmuting part. I wish to that person, I think to that person that they interacted with me, or I was so significant to them and they thought that I deserve their attention. What if I honestly think that that interaction that initially triggered me in a bad way, like it triggered the shadow in me? What if now I see that experience as meaningful as my existence? What if that interaction is like a revelation, like it reveals, it gives me the inside of actually that this is existence. And it's amazing that we just interact with each other. It's amazing that we are able to talk with each other. I know I'm kind of diverting my initial filter through which I was interpreting that specific interaction, that specific um, event. But let's say what do I do with the need of defending myself? Let's say someone is asking me something to offer. I could say, thank you. I don't have the time, the resources you're asking, but I deeply and honestly wish you to get enough for you to move further with your life, of that you're asking me to give you through other means. And so I protected myself by saying, okay, I can't do it, because I want to transmute the function of the function of protection of my shadow. I want to transmute it to, so I am able to manifest that protection from that function of protection, but to manifest it from my awareness, from not from my shadow, from my core existence. So I don't know if I made it very complicated. I mostly things do get complicated because of my English, but I hope I managed to um, get across a few ideas that are related to those two initial points from where we started. And we started with the awareness of impermanence and death, and the awareness of karma and its consequences. And I hope I managed to make, I don't know how fragile, but a meaningful case for why not why meaningful case for how to transmute your existence from a lack of awareness to a satisfying level of awareness where your shadow is satisfied as well as your higher state of existence. Okay, thanks for today, and for sure we'll meet again tomorrow to talk a little bit about the last kind of awareness, and that namely the unsatisfactory nature of the cycle of existence. So till tomorrow, I wish you to have a satisfactory existence, and we'll talk more about this in the tomorrow's video. Bye for now.